Good evening. I'd like to welcome the Honorable Raymond E. Mavis, Ambassador to the United States, to the Board of Education, to Dr. Leo Roberto, Superintendent of Schools, to the Cabinet members, to the teachers, to parents, family and friends, and most importantly, to the 9th grade graduating class of Dhahran Academy Junior High School, 1995. I think it's kind of ironic. It's ironic to me that here I am in the beginning of my history with Dhahran Academy as you are walking out the door. But you are headed towards greener pastures, hopefully, and a lot of excitement. This is probably the first class that I've had that will go throughout the world in pursuit of their education and in pursuit of their future. It's exciting for me, and this is the largest class that I've ever been associated with in my time in education to see go forth and make their parents proud. Tonight is your night, and I'm not here to take up a lot of time. And I know you can only sit in those chairs for so long. And ladies in the front row, thank you. You've done exactly as I asked. At this point in time, I'd like to introduce Dr. Leo Roberto, Superintendent of Saudi Arabian International Schools, Dhahran District, who will introduce our keynote speaker, the Ambassador. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here this evening, and the Ambassador is going to have a little bit more difficult time squeezing by me to get to the podium than I think I had squeezing by Tom. Before I introduce the Ambassador, I'd like to extend my own personal congratulations to the class of 1995. And in some cases, I'm very glad that you're here this evening. And I know a number of the students in this class, and this is a wonderful group of young men and women, children that we can be proud of, young adults that will continue to grow and reflect positively on our school. And I personally wish each and every one of you the best. Ambassador Mavis arrived in Saudi Arabia in July of 1994. Previous to his arrival, he served as one of the youngest governors in the history of the state of Mississippi. Ambassador Mavis holds a bachelor's degree in English and political science from the University of Mississippi, a master's degree in political science from Johns Hopkins University, where he was a Woodrow Wilson Fellow, and a Juris Doctor's degree from Harvard Law School. During his tenure as governor, Ambassador Mavis stressed education and job creation. As governor, he initiated and led the battle to pass the BEST program, Better Education for Success Tomorrow. This was, and I was in the States at the time, one of the most comprehensive educational reform efforts undertaken by any state during that period. During that time, he was named one of Fortune magazine's top 10 education governors. Since his arrival in Saudi Arabia, Ambassador Mavis has continued to be a supporter of education. He has shown himself willing to extend the time and energy to support the education that the Academy delivers, as well as education in general. I can state, having had the opportunity to visit with him on more than one occasion, that he has committed extra time and effort and energy to Dhahran Academy, and it gives me great pleasure, and I'm personally honored to introduce to you the Honorable Raymond E. Mavis, Jr., United States Ambassador to Saudi Arabia.
Thank you, Dr. Roberto. And to the 106 members of the graduating class, tonight it's my job to talk for a little while and yours to listen. I hope we finish at almost exactly the same time. One of the first places that I came when I came to Saudi Arabia was to Dhahran, and when I came here I visited Dhahran Academy. And I was being shown around looking into the classrooms. It was after school had ended for the day in late August. And a member of your class, Dave Molnar, came up and asked me if I'd come and speak tonight. That was 9 months in the future at that point, and I said, sure, I'll be happy to. Dave has since left. I don't think it was because I was coming to speak, but I'm not sure. As the doctor said, I'm the U.S. ambassador to Saudi Arabia. I had been a governor before. Governors in the United States don't get a whole lot of respect and attention paid to them. There are a lot of jokes made about them. But I thought when I became an ambassador, I'd move up in life. After all, you call ambassadors excellency, things like this. But right after I got here, I had a meeting of American citizens in Taif, and I was going around saying hello, and I shook hands with one gentleman, and he said, "Who are you?" And I said, "Well, my name's Ray Mavis. I'm your new ambassador." He said, "Uh-huh." He said, "Now how long?" He said, who did you replace in this job? I said, "Well, the last ambassador was named Mr. Freeman, and that's who I replaced." And he said, "Uh-huh." He said, "Now when did he leave?" I said, "Well, he left 2 years ago." He said, "There hadn't been an ambassador here for 2 years?" I said, "That's right." He said, "Can't be that important a job." I want to say just a few things and then let you get on with your night. First of all, I think you ought to be proud of yourselves. You've done something a lot of people don't do. You've gone through now 10 years of school. You've done it at a place that stresses excellence in academics. You've accomplished more than a lot of people your age have, and you should be very proud of that. You should be very proud of the accomplishment and very proud of the work and very proud of the effort that you put into it. I hope that later on tonight, as you're feeling good about yourselves, you'll also pause and thank a couple of groups of people. One is I hope you'll go and hug your mom and daddy for the help and the support that they've given you to this point. Sometimes mothers and fathers embarrass children. I know, I've got 2 children. But I can guarantee you that your mom and your dad get smarter as you get older. And 10 years from now, they'll be smarter than they are today. But they've sacrificed in ways that you'll never know about. From getting up early to make sure you get to school, to going to ball games, to doing all the things that go with being a parent, and that includes worrying most of your waking hours. I also hope you'll take a little time and thank your teachers. They give the most important thing you can give. They give the future. They give their intelligence, they give their effort, they give their energy, they give their enthusiasm, and they do it so that we can have a better world in the years to come. So I hope you will thank those 2 groups. They're important, and they have made it possible for all of us, and particularly you, to be here tonight. In today's world, wherever you're going, there are practically no opportunities for people without good educations. Jobs for strong backs and weak minds just don't exist much anymore. The important thing we do today is not the machinery, it's not the computers, it's not the high-tech stuff, it's the people that use them, and it's the training and education for it. One of the amazing things that I learned at some point when I was growing up was that people will pay you for what you know. And the more you know, generally the more they will pay you. And the better you are at what you do, the more in demand you will be. I hope you do well. And I hope you do well as you enter this new phase of your life in high school and education after that. What you do at this stage of your life is going to follow you all of your lives. You may not think how you do in the 9th grade or the 10th grade, the 11th grade is going to be that important, but it is. It establishes what kind of work habits you have. It establishes what kind of effort you're willing to put forward. The theme tonight is hard to say goodbye. And as you sit here for the last time with people that you've seen virtually every day for years and years and years in some cases, and that you'll never see again in quite the same situation, and sometimes that you will never see again, I hope you'll pause and think back a little bit on what you've gone through and what you've done and what you've accomplished and the friendships that you have made and the people who have affected your lives that are leaving with you tonight. You're going into sort of an unknown world, into high school. A lot of changes, a lot of opportunities, and a lot of challenges. Going to high school is not an easy place today. It's not an easy thing to do. It won't be easy for you, but I know you can do it. I would give you 2 pieces of advice. Number 1 is be yourself. You're going to get a lot of pressure to do things, go places, and act in ways that may not be you. Be yourself. Be true to who you are and not to what the group wants. The relevant entity is the individual, not the group. And the second thing is don't be afraid to do well. Don't be afraid of excellence. There are going to be people all your life who will tell you it's good enough just to get by. It's not. You ought to do the very best that you can. And when you look back at things, ask yourself, did I do as well as I could possibly do? And if the answer is yes, regardless of the outcome, then you've done your job and you can feel proud of yourself. I hope that you will remember how you feel tonight. The feeling of accomplishment, the feeling of doing something well, the feeling of doing something over a period of time, and I hope you have that feeling over and over and over again. So it's my turn to quit and your turn to have your say and to have your evening. I hope that your lives are as happy as this night is. I hope that you accomplish everything you hope and dream of, and I hope that each of you in your own way does something great for the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ambassador Mavis. The next 4 individuals that will get up have been selected from their peers through a process in their language arts classes. All students in 9th grade language arts were assigned the project of writing a commencement speech. They gave those speeches in front of their various classrooms, and then the best speeches of each classroom were then presented to the entire 9th grade for selection tonight. And from the group of over 100 students, we have 4 individuals that will come forth tonight and provide you with their words of wisdom. The first student I'd like to introduce is Zishan Ahmed.
Every beginning has an end, and every end is the beginning of a new era. Respected teachers, parents, friends, and guests, this evening is a milestone for all of us. While leaving behind a period full of accomplishments, sweet memories, and fun, we are going to embark on new horizons, full of new challenges and experiences. Parting with friends in this beautiful place called Dhahran Academy is not an easy job. The beautiful memories of the days we spent here will always be in our hearts. Now I feel that it is hard to say goodbye to Dhahran Academy. Every moment, from kindergarten to 9th grade, has been a precious one for me. Right from my days of kindergarten, it was fun to learn and explore new ideas and concepts. Every year became more and more exciting. Junior high brought me the best years of my life. In 7th grade, I remember being called a Sevi and being pushed around by the bully 9th graders. In 8th grade, I used to say to myself, just one more year and it will be my turn. In 9th grade, thank God there was nobody to push me around. It was my turn to push the Sevis and Eggies around. It was nothing but a great fun, and we enjoyed each other's presence. My teachers have always had a positive influence on me. Ms. Bentley has taught me about the world. Some of my fellow classmates and myself used to question her by saying, "How is learning about Rome going to help us in our lives?" She would reply back by saying, "One day you would find all what I have taught you very helpful." Ms. Bentley, I do hope learning about Rome would help us one day. Mr. Minatoli is a new PE teacher this year in Dhahran Academy. He rescued me from my bad shape. Before Mr. Minatoli came to Dhahran Academy, I never could get below 10 minutes on the mile run, but with his help, I improved my time to 7:53. Mr. Hopkin is another new teacher here in Dhahran Academy. He taught me a lot about computers, though I still forget many commands. While I was in his class, he assigned us to make a boarding school presentation. Thanks to him, every school I applied to, they all enjoyed it very much. Words cannot describe Mrs. Sonis, my survival skills teacher. She's fun, creative, kind, and compassionate. Class was always interesting for me. I learned how to sew and cook, something that would come handy in my boarding school and college. Mr. Schroll, our physical science teacher, has an exercising mind. I enjoyed being in his class in 8th and 9th grade. One thing about Mr. Schroll is that he is perhaps the funniest man in the world. Mrs. Joseph, without her, I wouldn't be here today speaking in front of you. In communication arts, she taught me how to speak in public. But frankly speaking, I still have butterflies in my stomach while I am speaking to you. She has been a great teacher as well. Mr. Anderson is a very jolly and humble person. He's an excellent math teacher who taught me algebra and geometry. He's a very kind man, and I was proud to be his student. We also enjoyed his stories about his life on the John Deere tractor. Our language arts teacher, Mrs. Harvey, has taught us many things from grammar to the tragedy of Romeo and Juliet. She has a unique style of teaching and always kept us informed on the latest gossips. Mr. Barnhouse has been my PE teacher in the past. In wrestling, he showed me how to slam and get slammed, but most of the time, I got slammed. I enjoyed helping him out in after-school activities. Mr. Hammond, our first semester world history teacher, who resembles Tim Allen from Home Improvement, was also a fun and helpful teacher. We did many exciting things in his class, such as the archaeology dig. He also taught us to use themed paper. There have been many more highly qualified and able teachers in my junior high years. A very big thanks to all the teachers here. The class of '95 also shares many memories, such as its socials, or performing in the play The Boor, or the Renaissance Fair, in which the guys wore tights, but not including myself, and the girls wore beautiful dresses, including myself. Today we are parting in different directions. The new boarding schools will be a new experience for all of us. We might learn new things, make new friends, relish new fun, but the memories we are sharing today will never fade away. They will always be there as an asset to all of us. One quote I would always remember that Mrs. Harvey used to say is happy campers. So dear friends, let's be happy campers today, tomorrow, and for days to come. Forever and forever, farewell class of '95. If we do meet again, why we shall smile. If not, why then this parting was well made. Thank you everyone, and ma salama. The next student speaker is Zara Kizilbash.
Saudi Arabia is home to many of us. We have all loved it at times and despised it at others. We are not here to judge the country for its faults, but rather to remember all it has given us. If you remember nothing else about Saudi Arabia, remember that it protected us and sheltered us. But more importantly, remember that it gave us the opportunity to attend Dhahran Academy. It is here that cultures and religions have coexisted peacefully and harmoniously. It is in Dhahran Academy that you have made friends who mean so much it hurts. Dhahran Academy provided you with a warm welcome on arrival and gave you the needed encouragement to progress. It is here that equality, an otherwise empty dream, lives and breathes. It has been stressed that attitude is all that counts. Although we were not the most successful school in team competitions we always manage to enjoy ourselves and were recognized for our spirit. And our spirit, both for Dhahran Academy and other schools, is remarkable. At the cross-country tournament in Jubail this year, as one of our runners was coming in, the rest of the team, a mass of blue and gold, ran her to the finish line, cheering and screaming. A Jubail runner followed in pursuit, but there were no cheers of encouragement from her school. In fact, it was athletes from Dhahran Academy who cheered her on and ran up to congratulate her. This is what makes one proud of our school. Whatever disputes we have with each other, whatever faults we find with our school, we will always support each other and defend our school. And Dhahran Academy will always be our school. Childhood is considered the best part of growing up, and your favorite memories are usually those of you as a kid. I have lived in Saudi Arabia for 15 years. For 10 of those years, I have attended Dhahran Academy. I, for one, have treasured my life here, and I have no regrets. I am going to leave Saudi Arabia knowing that I have had the best of childhoods in this country and school. But now it is time to move on. Everybody will be going their own way soon, maybe never to set eyes on each other again. But at the moment, let us remember that for a time we shared this school, and no matter what, we will always be a part of this school, and it of us. Our next speaker will be Shashmita D.
Each culture is special and has its own meaning. From each culture, we should learn and take a piece of it and add it to our own culture. We are one nation with different people. We are like different colored waxes that when mixed together, we make up one candle, and that candle should light up and shine for the whole world. Mr. Ambassador, friends, family, and faculty. These words were expressed by an Ecuadorian friend of mine about the children of the world. I believe these words represent us here at Dhahran Academy. Each of us are the different colored waxes that have united and formed a single candle that shines brightly. Now we are graduating, but our flame will not be blown out. We might be separated, but we will never be divided due to the strength in our friendship. The candle that united us brought us something we shall always treasure, friendship. As Dennis the Menace once said, quote, "Friends, Joey, are people who know you really well but still like you," end quote. As the years go by, memories of our friends will stand out. Times like when Tarek went around the school in a dress, or the great locker war between Richard and Stacy Salmons. Their ammunition was dried fish, and it pretty much stunk up the entire floor. Then there was that time when Christine asked Claire, "How old would we be when we're 21? Or the time when I played the part of Renfield and went around eating flies. What about the time when Mike proposed to Tarek in the play The Boar? Then there was Peter's mysteriously decorated locker. There are so many other people and memories that will not be forgotten, but simply cannot be summed up in a few words. Oh, but surely we will not forget the teachers. Don't worry, Mr. Anderson, we won't forget your stories of the old days. Well, Amir won't, that's for sure. We'll remember Mr. Hammond by the 30,000-paged article, The Clash of Civilizations, and how he decided to throw out his back on the day we had our complicated debate. Hey, we had to argue against David. A word of advice. When in doubt, use Mr. Schrawl's handy-dandy factor label method. It'll always work. And we'll remember to be politically correct and say Ms. Bentley instead of Mrs. or Miss. Then there's Mrs. Harvey. She's the teacher whom we tell secrets and gossips, but she teases you about it forever. And whenever you heard, "Regardez, qu'est-ce que c'est?" you knew it was Madame Sonis. Recognize this? Come on, girls, only one more mile. Yep, that's Mrs. Quirk and the famous power walking. The teachers mentioned here are only a few of our great faculty, but they cannot all be mentioned since you probably don't want to be here till midnight. But seriously, I, and I think the rest of the 9th grade, would like to thank all the teachers, as well as our families, whose constant support and encouragement always guided us and helped us to be where we are today and who will be tomorrow. As William Shakespeare once said, quote, "What's past is prologue," end quote. With our hearts full of hope for humanity, we would like to keep that multicolored candle, symbolizing the entire species of mankind, alight forever. What we have achieved here at Dhahran Academy is actually quite amazing. We together have learned to become individuals and accept differences. We have not only learned other cultures and traditions, but we also have become a part of them. We have found diversity in the way we think that makes us more united and not divided. As our path of life separates from each other's, we will take with us these things that we have learned. But most of all, we will take with us the memories that bond us, the class of '95, together, forever. Thank you. Our next student speaker will be Leslie Stem.
Walk a mile in my shoes. If I could be you and you could be me for just 1 hour, if we could find a way to get inside each other's mind, if you could see me through your eyes instead of your ego, I believe you'd be surprised to see that you'd been blind. Now your whole world you see around you is just a reflection, and the law of common says you reap just what you sow. So unless you've lived a life of total perfection, you'd better be careful of every stone that you throw. There are people on reservations and out in the ghettos, and brother, there but for the grace of God go you and I. If I had the wings of a little angel, don't you know I'd fly to the top of the mountain, and then I'd cry. Walk a mile in my shoes, walk a mile in my shoes, and before you abuse, criticize, or accuse, walk a mile in my shoes. These words by Joe South I first read in my 7th grade yearbook. Actually, they weren't read, but skimmed over by eyes eager only to see pictures of my friends looking silly on the pages to follow. This poem was dedicated to our class by the 9th graders that year. A year of memories still crystal clear, but of people now a blur. After taking the time to reread this poem, I realize its meaning, and more importantly, how it applies to us. We have now walked in the shoes of those 9th graders. We've passed through the torment of being a Sevi, a time when we stumbled over our own feet, took 5 minutes to open our lockers, and still managed to think we were hot stuff. On to 8th grade, when we had to cope with the loss of many friends that summer. Ironic, because it was said to be the best year of our lives by our elders. A fact not believed until we got to 9th grade, and then it was too late. Then 9th grade, our last year here, in the comfort of our friends, our family, and our familiar way of life. We know now how naive the 7th graders are, complaining about an essay assignment when we've just done 6 for boarding school applications. We know now that when you dance close to a person, you probably won't get cooties. We know now that most guys look better in tights than togas, and we also know that life's not fair. Our time at Dhahran Academy has had its share of bad moments, but they've been overcompensated by the good. All memories now. Memories that will ease the difficulty of saying goodbye. And although saying goodbye seems really hard, it requires only half the bravery it will take for us to venture into the world that's waiting for us beyond the gates of Dhahran Academy. Thank you.
As a newcomer on the block to Dhahran Academy, there's no way that I can capture the emotion that I just heard in those 4 speeches, or probably the emotions that you kids are feeling tonight. I do have a lot of feelings for you guys. It's been only a year for me, and I've only known you for a year, but I'll remember you forever, for a lifetime. You've made me proud to be your principal, and I just hope you keep on going, because you've got a lot in you, and you can keep going. At this point in time, I'd like to recommend the class of 1995 of Dhahran Academy Junior High School to the audience as deserving of graduation. Abby Abul Hassan. Rami Abu Ghazala. Zishan Ahmed. Misha Ali. Candace Aris. Alicia Bataya. Stacy Bataya. Christy M. Boedo. Maria Chatriwala. Jiwan Chong. Sakyan Chun. Gordon Cochran. Tega Cox. Vanessa Rose Cummin. Rohila De Cruz. Shoshmita D. Claire Denton. Anjali Desai. Hisham El-Assad. Hatem El-Hibri. Sahar Farag. Omar Faruqi. Koblavi Fiagbeji.
LaQuinthia Enrica Artis Fraser. Catherine D. Galang. Tamara Gallo. Jason Gielan. Stephanie Rose Go. Peter Gerges. Mazen Ali Hajar. Anita Harmeyer. Jongtae Hong. Samir Ibrahim. Junaid Zafar Iqbal. Usman Iqbal. Farhan A. Irshad. Dallas Jackson. Ahmed Jarad. Karam Javed. Smile. Elizabeth Renee Johnson. Wan Ku Jun. Hassan Kazmi. Marissa Kelso. Adil Ahmed Khan. Harun Khan. Khalid Khan. Yasser Khan. Rita Habib Khoury. Juan Kim. Sehyun Kim. Yumi Kim. Young Hoon Kim. Fadi Koftrali. Mike Kravick. Lee Sung Yoon. J. B. Long. Brock Mans. Madeley Mavinker. Tulsi Menon. Shadia S. Michael. Usman Mirza. Imran Muadeen. Tariq Musa. Samin Muqtadir. Samer Fayez Najar. Marianne Nashid. Chriselle Nazaire. Jae Hyun Oh. Adi Owamrin. Joanne Pace. Ben E. Parker. Heather Parson. Baber Pervez. Hamayan Pervez. Samara Perzanowski. Errol Pinar. Zara Kizelbosh. Mateen Rashid Qureshi. Amir Radwan. Christine Robb. Kristen Roseberry. Raymond N. Rowe. Angelo Santos. Sharonda Scott. Abid Shah. Saad Sharif. Babar Sheikh. Stacy Simons. Michelle Lynn Sovar. Alana Spicer. Zishan Subzuwari. Jenna Lee Venema. Tabitha Vivens. Sharif Wally. Richard White. Nadine Yamut. Junaid Yusuf. Leslie Stem. We have one more plaque to present in appreciation for his coming to Dhahran Academy to deliver a commencement address. This plaque is given in appreciation to the Ambassador of the United States, Raymond E. Mabus, Jr.
You're antsy now, aren't you? Congratulations, class. You've got a long way to go, but you've made a great start. And I think I have to get a little humorous here, but you may not get it. But, you know, in my lifetime, we often hear the grass is often greener on the other side of the hill. And that's often true until you get up and you have to mow it. Remember that as you go through life. There's not much more that I can say except that I'm proud of you. I think your parents have every right and every reason to be proud of you tonight, and every right and every reason to expect you to go off into the future, go off into the world, to all corners of the world, and make them proud of you. I expect to hear from each and every one of you. I have all your addresses, a handy-dandy little directory. And if you want, I'll give you mine so we can keep in touch. I'll see you at boarding school visits and when you come back at Christmas time. But keep in touch, because I meant it when I said I'll remember you for a lifetime. Thank you for a great year and a great introduction into Dhahran Academy. Please. At this point in time, I'd like to invite the audience over to the library for refreshments. If you don't know where it is, out the doors to the auditorium and to the right, follow the trail, and I'm sure you'll find your way. Ninth grade parents, we've prepared all the final transcripts and report cards and asked that at this time, so to ease your taking those records to the kids next school, if you can pick them up tonight, it'll avoid them getting lost in the mail. And I've told all the kids this afternoon we have a t-shirt for them, as is tradition, with the year on it and all the names of the students. And their ticket to a t-shirt is their parents coming in to get the transcript. So please make sure that you do that. And when you do, then we'll hand the t-shirt over to your student. I'd like to just thank everybody here, the parents, the board, Dr. Roberto, Mr. Much, for all the support they've given to me, and in turn to all the teachers of Dhahran Academy this year, because it's been a good year. We're going to get better, as we always will, but it's been a great year. I want to thank the staff for being very supportive. I know at times I've said some things that don't always agree with everybody, but at least you've let me know in a good way, and we've worked through it. And to the parents, you got a great bunch of kids. You should be proud of them. I am, and they'll go far. Thank you very much. Good.
Thank you.